Yeah, I think he's going to be day to day probably as they decide. But I look good to me. I mean, it's just I'm happy to see him out here. Period. So just seeing his face, seeing him smile, get up and down the court a little bit, and shoot the basketball. Like as far as the health and when, I think that's going to be it's going to still be up in the air because those type of injuries, as somebody who has played, when it's soft tissue, sometimes you got to wake up in the morning and see how you feeling after you stress it. So we'll see.
Jonas has filled in so great, and with Domas, he obviously fills the stat page. But where do you feel is like the biggest area you guys miss his presence most?
I mean, he's talented, man. Like he covers the stat sheet, so he's gonna give you about 20. He's gonna give you about 10 and almost 10. Verticality at the rim, late reds on guards because I think he moves his feet better than people think. He stretches the floor at the 5 and shoots a 3 ball. Like, you want me to keep going? It's kind of a lot. I mean, we just miss him, his presence, what he brings to the locker room. There's a lot of different things, man, that you miss. It's not just one thing. Even when it's a scorer, you miss a guy who scores 28 or 30. It's not just that. There's the gravity. There's personality. There's a lot of different things. Yeah.
Doug, how is your restructuring of the coaching staff who's moved up to the front, who's sort of taken on more since you've had, not only Luke leave, but yourself elevated?
I mean, I'm the head coach, so I do everything. I rely on the staff to do a lot of different stuff, but it all falls back on me. So when LB comes back, he will be on the front of the bench, but until then, Jim will be on the front of the bench.
Okay. From a rotation standpoint, not knowing how many minutes Delmas is going to have, but you've tinkered with the lineup a little bit with him and Malik out. Moving forward, did you like what you saw from some of the other guys in elevated roles and rotations?
Yeah, I've always been of the mindset that injuries they're a bad thing for the individual, but for the collective team, normally they strengthen you because guys get opportunities. We learn how to play. We see different avenues. We see different solutions to problems. And by the time they come back, we're stronger as a unit. So there was a lot of good. I thought Jake jumped off the screen and did a really good job. Jonas has been spectacular. Keon continues to do Keon things. And, excuse me, even our rookie DC, he got in and he played well. I like what I saw, his aggressiveness, his defense, all that different stuff. Like, he doesn't probably get that opportunity if everyone stays healthy. So I think it makes us a better team and unit sometimes when guys get hurt, unfortunately.
That little time that Derek Carr had in Stockton, you seen a big difference in that. You just mentioned, the aggressiveness. I think we've all been saying that.
Yeah, well, I talked to Q a little bit and just wanted him to make sure that while he's there, he focuses on running the team and guarding the best player. Like, because that's when he comes up here, he's probably going to guard the best player, and he's going to need to run the team. And whatever, however Q went about it, it was fantastic because when I see him on the court, he looked better. And those are little things sometimes that you just need. It's like, what's my motivation? What am I doing? And for him, it's you make sure you get the team into something, stay aggressive, because you're a rookie, they try to press up on you, go by him, and that's what he's done. But at the same time, he's in a second unit, and in that second unit, we need to make sure that we have some structure and don't turn the ball over. So make sure and get us into something, and then pick your guy up, because with the minutes that you got, we have to feel you. We have to feel your presence. And I thought that since he's come back, and even before he left, I thought that he did that. It's just learning how to run a team after never really being a point guard at this level is difficult. It's not something that people just pick up automatically. There are a lot of nuances. You're trying to think, and you can't really think out there. You just got to know what you're doing. And he looks more and more like he's getting comfortable.
As this group continues to mesh, what do you want the identity to be of this team?
I love beautiful basketball. And that is on the offensive end. But beautiful basketball can be on the defensive end too, because we're switching, we're communicating, we're where we're supposed to be, we're helping early. But then at the same time, I want to hit somebody in the mouth. That we don't get hit first, we hit first. That's who we want to be. And some of what I'm talking about is going to take time because, we're in the middle of the air and we're trying to fix things while the plane's in the air. So, but they understand that, and they're willing to do whatever I'm asking them to do to make it happen, to their credit. And that goes for guys who've been in the league 10, 12, 13 years to guys who are rookies and third and fourth year players. They're all on the same page, same paragraph, sometimes same word, but we're working on that.
The Warriors obviously look a little bit different since the last time you guys were in their building. What are you expecting from them and from your guys' side? Like, what expectation do you have from the start of that game to kind of get things going on the right note?
I don't really like deal that way. We're gonna bring it. That's what we do. We come into play, and I think historically, for the last few years, because prior to that when I was playing, it wasn't like that. We just went and did what we did. But now they're a different ball club. They're a championship ball club, and you have to bring your A game, and that's what we plan on doing. Is it going to be difficult? Yeah, they're great players in their building, all the different things that come with that. But if we're going to be or ever be what in my mind raises a banner, these are the things that you have to deal with, and you have to deal them with class, and you have to deal with them with a strength and a downhill presence that is uncanny. It doesn't happen all the time. So that means that all the pain, all the sniffling, all the crying, all that has to go out the window, and we lock arms and we go into this building ready to win a ball game.
Going back to what you just mentioned with punching first, who are some of the guys that you feel like do a good job of setting that tone?
I mean, I think I want them all to do that, so it's not really, it's a tone. It's like, it's how I expect us to get down. I don't care who it is. You're not sitting back waiting for anything. We're going to get it. So, you got Jonas, you got guys who definitely set a presence that way, but he's not always starting. So that doesn't mean that we change our style of play. We're coming to do what we do, and it's going to take a time to get that identity, because at the same time that identity is a little bit scary because you rub people the wrong way, and not everybody is built like that. You know what I mean? Because when you rub people the wrong way, they're going to push back, and if you're not ready to push back after they push back, that's a problem. But I think that the guys they're understanding and they're willing, and that's the first step in the process. And then after you get it and it's automated, then you just do what you do.
It's easy for us
Last
to talk
one, Sean.
about, magnitude of these remaining games and how they'll have a postseason feel. Do you kind of look forward to seeing some of those type of atmospheres as you go forward? Like, are you guys in that mix to where it feels like each game is kind of already a postseason game?
Yeah, even the way that we plan strategically, I think it takes on a little more one-off each time. Like, can we handle game plan strategy? When we go into a game plan and we're doing things a little different than we normally do, can we lock in and stay focused on those things? That's what the playoffs are all about, because you have your style in game one. Did it work? If it didn't work, how are you going to switch up and tinker with things? How are they going to switch up and tinker with things? When they do switch it, how do we combat that? Like, those are things that we also have to take a 360 view and look down and see how we do as a unit. And it excites me. It's a lot of fun because you do a lot of work in the season. You go through a lot of pain. You experience a lot of things to get to moments like this. And when you get to the moment, like, relax and take it in, and just because that's really where we're going to learn the most at, because we get the best version of ourselves.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.